and listen to music. And that's what got me from the darkness back into the light. So when I got back from this music festival, I was always like, yes, I am ready to deliver porn to the masses. And I was re-energized for a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, and then I'd have to do it all over again. But yeah, it's a vicious cycle, really.
What is the name of this actor that I think is the bald guy? Everyone says that he had all
Johnny
the
Sins.
Johnny Sims. Like, what's up with him? Everyone.
So so I shot Johnny Sins in the early part of his career,
What?
and I shot him for a very long time. And you know what? Probably a lot of those memes and gifs out there, uh, I probably shot them.
What?
Oh yeah,
You
when
bet.
he's like the doctor or the teacher or the fireman or any of that. Yeah, like I must have shot, I'd say 400 to 500 scenes with Johnny Sins probably.
Really? Like,
Yeah,
when it comes to like to being a performer, is he like considered one of the best ones? I mean, he's one of the most known ones for
he,
sure, right?
he's one of the most popular, and I would say he would be the one that every female performer would be like, yes, I would love to work with Johnny Sins, or I love Johnny. Because look, muscular guy, good shape, he has a respectable penis for porn and all that. But as far as, and look, I'm not going to tell you that he had like every scene he shot was great. He struggled at times. Okay, he's a human, he's a mortal man, right? But there are certain things like scenes that he wouldn't do. Like he didn't like anal scenes. He didn't like being in orgies. He didn't like being in group scenes. The only group scenes he would like to be in is if he was the only dude and there were like two or three other girls, right? Like obviously that's all he wanted to do. But when it came to like doing anal, I would not cast him for anal at all because one, he wouldn't take the scene, but two, he didn't like it. So the funny thing is, and here's props to your country and to Europe and to Eastern Europe and Russia, they deliver pound for pound the best anal male performers ever.
What?
These guys do not, yeah, they like if I had to shoot an anal scene, like a boy girl anal or DPs, believe me, I would hire like Ramon, who was Spanish, or Mick Blue, who was Austrian, or Marcus Dupree, who was Russian, because these dudes, they like anal and they're like this. They're like, yeah, they're solid. Whereas the soft Americans, yeah, they have a problem with it.
So now I need to ask, what defines a good anal scene? Is the stiffness of your penis?
It's just not getting turned on by the fact that you know things could get messy sometimes. There could be
Oh.
there could be a chili dog situation. You know,
I mean, but aren't the girls supposed to wash it beforehand?
yeah, but sometimes the body is not cooperative. Yeah, and so when that happens, the strong ones, and I'll tell you, there were some strong Americans. Jordan Ash was one. He's no longer alive. He died of a brain tumor in 2020. But yeah, like if he had a chili dog, he would wipe off and then he would get right back into battle and he would not be phased at all. But that was just the way it was. I mean, I don't know. I'd say also the Eastern European female performers were the strongest performers. I found that a lot of the American women were kind of like soft and entitled, and the ones from Eastern Europe, I guess, they didn't have it so well. So when they come to the states, I mean, they're running past their American counterparts by a mile.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
that's so interesting. I had no idea. Like, so I know that you mentioned early on during our conversation, like, about the guy coming back in home and talking to his girl. Oh, babe, I had sex 2 times, twice. So would you say the average amount of like orgasms or climaxes that a performer reached during a regular work day would be two?
Generally one.
Generally one.
They
Okay.
Yeah, like there were certain performers like Xander Corvus who like when I first started shooting him, he was a younger dude. And even though he partied a lot and like sometimes you could just still smell last night's booze on him, if he said like, "Hey man, it's feeling really good. Would you mind if I come once and then get back into it?" And like there's times I'd be like, when he first said that to me, I was like, "Yeah, right, kid." And sure enough, I said, "Sure, let's see how it goes." He did it. He was hard again in like an instant, and wound up delivering a second pop shot. So that became like a trademark of sorts with him. Same thing with the aforementioned Jordan Ash. Sometimes when, so I would shoot him back in the Florida days when he was like a $200 a scene performer. We were shooting in hotel rooms, and sometimes it felt really good, and he would come. And I'd get that pop shot on. He'd be like, boss, sorry, but give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, he's like this, and he's ready to go again. So it happens, but generally, you got one and done.
I mean, you can just take one of those blue pills, right? And that's it.
Well, it's not a magic bullet, you know.
Oh.
So this is the general trend when it comes to performers and their PEDs, their performance enhancing drugs. So you got a younger performer who's like, you know, always hard and can fuck anything, and you know that's normal. Eventually, that wears out. So then you start going into the Cialis, the Viagra, and all of that. But the problem is, and I always say this: if the big head is not in the game, the little head will not follow. It doesn't matter how much you have. So mentally, a performer needs to be in the game, and you know, in order for that Cialis or Viagra to work. Let's say this guy has been doing it for 10 years and now that's not working anymore. Well, now you level up to what's called the Caverject, which is an injection into the shaft of the penis.
Oh no, come on.
Yeah, I swear. And that gives you like a boner for like 2 to 3 hours, right? And so that's when you get a guy who's in his late 30s, 40s. He's now injecting his dick, and you know, he's getting through a scene. Eventually that stops working. So what is the final phase, you ask? Well, it's the implant, the inflatable implant.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking. They have, it's like a balloon that's put into the shaft of the penis. There's a button around the grundle area, and they push this button to inflate and deflate the balloon. And when that stops working, it's time to find another vocation.
Oh my god, the mental scene that I have. No.
Dude, this is why I wrote a book, because all of it's in there, man. Like this knowledge that I have, it couldn't die with me. So that was the reason why I decided to release this book, because there's a lot of people that don't know this stuff. They think, you know, they watch porn, but they have no idea what may have gone into the making of that porn that they're watching. So I wanted to really show that for people.
What's your view on casual porn? Because casual porn has nothing of the amateur porn, let's say.
Mm.
There's nothing of that. It's just like random people filming themselves. Like, did you see that